This is Japanese craft beer reviews, and today we're going to take a look at a beer from Nara Brewing Company in Nara, Japan. And this is a brewery that started in 2017, July of 2017, and it was started by a man named Namioka Yasunori, and I had met him a couple of times when he was working as an assistant brewer at Kyoto Brewing Company in Kyoto, Japan. And apparently it was well understood that he was planning to leave at some point and start his own brewery, and he did. And he opened a brewery on the outskirts of Nara City. Nara is a city in the central part of Japan, and it's a small city, rather quiet place, a population of about 350, maybe 400,000 people. And it was actually the capital of Japan for less than 100 years, from 1710 to 710 to 794, and so it has a lot of history and some interesting museums and some very old temples that you can see there. Very, very quiet town, and it seems like they kind of are, I don't know, it has kind of feeling that historic feeling, but also kind of left behind feeling to it. In any case, Nara Brewing Company has around 80 beers listed on Rate Beer, and on Untapped, the average score out of 5 for all their beers is 3.75, so pretty high. They have a tap room at the brewery, and it's open only on weekends, I think Saturday and Sunday as well, and you can buy selected bottles and growlers as well there. And so I've been there once, twice, and yeah, it's a nice place to pick up their beer for sure. There are a few other breweries in Nara, but not many. There's Nara Brewing, of course, which we'll talk about today, and Naramachi, and Sony Kogan, way out in the country, and a newer one called the Good Wolf Brewery, which is way out in the deep country. So, but today, Nara Brewing Company's beer, and the beer we're going to look at today is called Workin, and I don't know why they gave it that name, but it is an American IPA, 6%, 65 international bitter units. No ratings on Rate Beer. It hasn't even been listed yet. Need to put it on, I guess. And Untapped, when I checked, there were 13 ratings for this beer. And the average is pretty high, 3.94. This is a West Coast IPA, or in the West Coast IPA style, so it should be fairly dank. And it has Mosaic hops, Simcoe, Citra, and Columbus. So all of those are pretty good IPA hops. The malt is pale ale and Munich malt. So let's give it a go. Oh, one more thing about Nara Brewing, their label art is amazing, and the naming of their beers. In the past, they've often named many of their beers for philosophers or philosophy ideas, scientific ideas as well. If you go on their website, Nara Brewing's website, you can see examples of their incredible label art. So this is a rather prosaic name for the Nara Brewing. Definitely, they have some very, very interesting ones. Okay, so this is a clear, maybe some chill haze, kind of golden straw, very pretty, with a finger of fluffy white foam. And, oh boy, yeah, absolutely dank. We get some citrus, some pine, maybe something extra fruity from Mosaic, and can't really get the caramel in the Munich malt, but yeah. I mean, this would take you to San Diego, or maybe Portland, someplace 20 years ago, 30 years ago even. Nice, moderately heavy, malty body with some caramel, and all of the hops come to the fore. Definitely get the Mosaic Simcoe, which is one of my favorite hops for sure. Citra perhaps less evident. There's a small citrusy tang, but overall it's kind of dank and moderately, fairly bitter, some bitter tracks. So this is a very interesting beer, kind of a throwback beer, but the IPA style is still the most popular one in the world, in the world of craft beer. And this is a very good example of the West Coast style of that. It's Nara Brewing Workin, 6%, 65 IBUs, and give it a go if you happen to see it somewhere.